Hey guys, welcome back. We are talking mini sessions today. So I know this is a big talk with photographers. I know it's been something that's been part of my business from day one to today. They can be ran successfully. You can fall on your face doing it, but that's how you learn, right? And so here I am. After I've fallen on my face, after I've done many of them, I hope to help you run a very successful mini session offer. So I'm going to start out by saying whatever your business is wrapped around, I guess, whatever your forte is, whatever you specialize in, I would not do mini sessions pertaining to that. Meaning, giving you an example, I specialize in families and high school seniors. So I don't ever do mini sessions that are for families or seniors. Now, the mini sessions I do offer could be senior, and I have had people sign up for it because I have two mini sessions. I have a 15-minute one in the spring, and I have a 5-minute one in the fall, and they're both very successful, and those could fall under senior if they wanted, but never family. And that is because I want full sessions with my families. They're more personalized, and these mini sessions could go one of two ways or both. It could be, people just getting their foot in the door, working with you a tiny bit, and earning your, no trust factor, right? It could be people that never do anything but your mini sessions. And I have both of those. I have both, and I love them all, and it all works out for everyone. So my mini sessions in particular, remember, I'm family and senior portraits. So in the spring, I used to do these outside, so don't feel like you can't do something like this if you don't have a studio. But now, I used to do these outside like in May. Well, May is kind of crazy for me for photography. So I have a studio. So I am embracing the studio, and now I only offer studio. So spring photos in the studio. And I honestly just use my furniture, my walls. I don't really do anything special. In my opinion, I like to capture the kids, who they are right now. I'm not necessarily interested in, with the Easter Bunny or whatever, whatever spring is to you. That's not what I'm going for. What I'm going for is getting spring photos of your kids together and separate. And it's up to 15 minutes in the studio. So that's my first mini session of the year. And then I do one in September, and it's back to school photos, and it's one child per time slot. So no sibling shots, nothing like that, no family shots. It's individual photos of your kids for 5 minutes. So every child gets 5 minutes, and that's it. So mini sessions are great as long as you plan them correctly and charge correctly. Mini doesn't mean that you make less. Quite honestly, you could probably make more. So you just gotta run it correctly and smoothly, and you might, like I said, you might fall on your face a few times, but don't give up. They're really fun. I love mini sessions. So let's dive in and talk about them. So of course, I have my notes, just so you know. Okay, so I'm currently planning my spring mini sessions right now. So I'm gonna kind of bring that into this video a little bit, but just to know that all of these ideas are how I would run any of my mini sessions. It's just a matter of different location and stuff like that. So different pricing, different timing, but it all kind of pertains to mini sessions in general. So, okay, so you kind of have to work backwards when planning your mini sessions. Pick a date. what dates do you want to offer this? Now, the cool thing about mini sessions is you can advertise them as like one-time special, or today, this day only, between these times only this many spots available. So what works for you? Like, this has to work for you and your family, and your timing, and if you don't have access to a studio, you need to, have a backup date, but figure out a date that works for you. And it kind of varies. Sometimes a weekend works better for people. Sometimes a weekday works better. It's a really tough one to figure out. But it kind of depends on the time of year too. It's really hard to plan mini sessions in the summer. People are traveling. Spring, you got sports. A lot of time it's sports. So if you're gonna do a weekend, usually a Sunday works better. But sometimes not with, church and stuff like that. So you can't be everyone's photographer, and it can't work for everyone. It just has to work for that handful of people that you're opening it up to. So where is your mini session going to be? Is it going to be at a park? Is it going to be in your studio? Is it going to be, at some barn? I don't know. Somewhere where you like to shoot. Make that plan too. And consider what that means as well. So I'm going to give you an example of our local foothills here in Boise, Idaho. So I would not personally plan mini sessions for the weekend in our foothills in Boise, Idaho. It is crazy busy with photographers. You wouldn't want to be stuck like not having your favorite spot, or having a bunch of people in the background, or waiting, or whatever. So I don't shoot in the weekends very often, but when I do, I notice how freaking busy it is on the weekend. So consider your surroundings. Consider what's going on. There's where I like to shoot my winter photos. There's a big event in January on a certain weekend, and I forgot this year. And guess what? It was a zoo. We got our pictures done, but it was a zoo, and I put on my calendar to never do that date again, because it's too crazy. So just think about what time of year it is, if there's any events going on, whatever. So booking details. You got to work backwards on this, guys. You got to figure out, okay, if I do 15-minute sessions, how much do I want to make per hour, right? And you got to remember, I don't know how long it takes you to edit and stuff like that, but I personally, I try to get it right in camera. That's my goal every time, so there's very minimal editing. But, how much do you want to make per hour? And then, you gotta, let's say we're gonna do easy math here. Let's say you shoot for an hour and get 4 families in, okay? One every 15 minutes, or kids, or whatever you're doing. And you like to make $200 an hour, just saying that. And let's say it takes you an hour to edit, and then everything else is automated. Well, if you want to make $200 an hour, that's 2 hours of your time. So you want to charge $400 worth in that hour up front, whether that includes something or not. But each family, each 15-minute session, you're going to need to charge $100, right? And that kind of gets you the base of what you need to make. If you want to include something that doesn't cost you anything, like digital files, maybe that includes a digital file or 2 or 3, whatever you like to do. But you got to work backwards on this, guys. So consider the time that you are going to take with each family, and then how many can you fit in an hour? What do you want to make an hour? Boom, right? How long is each of your sessions? Like I said, my spring minis are 15 minutes. My back to school photos in September are 5 minutes. So, and there's different, plans on what I want to charge for each of those. And, maybe you don't want to charge too much up front and you just want to let people buy things after the fact. Well, I have learned that you got to have them put something down on the front end or they will back out for whatever reason, soccer practice, whatever. Even if it's minimal, $10. I have noticed that even if people put down $10 per time slot, I'm talking about my September back to school photos. People don't cancel. They find ways to make it work. So think about how long you want each of your time slots. Who is it for? Be specific. So when you advertise this, you could be like, this is for, I'm going to give you an example of my spring sessions coming up. I have it listed. This is for siblings. This is for cousins. This is for best friends. This is for high school seniors. I do advertise high school seniors for this. But these are 15-minute sessions, right, in the studio. You don't get any special location. You don't get a bunch of clothing options, changes. You get one outfit and you get 15 minutes in the studio. We can get a lot done in 15 minutes. And sometimes those are, that's all people can handle, right? So, especially little kids or husbands. But, how are they going to book? What program do you have to make booking easy? Now, there's a fine line between going out and buying every program to make everything easy, and also you're just starting out and you don't have the money to do so. You've got to figure that out. I believe there's some free booking online things that you can use. Maybe, I don't know, don't quote me on this, maybe Calendly or something like that. But I've used multiple booking programs. I love the one I use. It's called Booked In, and I will have all my programs listed in the details so you can check them out. But what's nice about having a booking program is you set up on your calendar, how long is each session? What does it come with? You can take their money right there. You can on the program. So when they book, they pay ahead of time. You can make it so they don't get a refund if they back out. I personally do that. I don't want people to back out because they want to go to a barbecue or whatever. So, everything is planned ahead. So, I hope you keep your booking and make it work. So, anyway, it'll send them text messages and emails as reminders, and they can confirm their appointments. So that is how my clients book, and I love it. Where are they going to meet you? All that stuff. It's all automated, but you can, take all the time on the front end, getting that set up, and then it's super easy and makes your life much simpler for sure. Then let's see. How do they pay? Again, if you use a program like I use, they can pay online like that, or you're going to have to, if you have Square is a great option. You can get their card number or send them an invoice via email and they can pay it that way. A little more work, but maybe not cost you as much. So, but you'll manually have to make those invoices in Square and send it to them. So, what does your session include? So, I advertise in my spring minis as an example. That includes the session and 2 digital files of their choice, printable up to 8x10, and they have option to purchase more. So, with that said, I have an online gallery that I use called Zenfolio, and I can create coupon codes. So I can give each of my clients that sign up a coupon code, and that gives them they put that code in at checkout, and that gives them, the money off for 2 digital files, and then they can pay for more if they have more in their cart. So I've used Zenfolio a long time. I know there's lots of options out there, but Zenfolio has been great. That's how I deliver my digital files to clients. It's how I have people order online. And online ordering, you guys, is the way to go. It's so amazing. Of course, I've done everything the long way and the expensive way, and there have been times where I've had sessions, mini sessions, where I take their order and over the phone, or I can't remember how I did that exactly, but I was getting each credit card and running it, and it was just so much work. And then I discovered this online ordering, and yes, they take a portion of your income, but it's so worth it, because I could now go do high volume events, or even my mini session events, which I consider high volume as well. I can put them online. Everything's automated. The gallery expires on the date that I want it to expire, and people put their orders in, and I can go ride my mountain bike. I don't have to be taking people's orders manually, but you start somewhere, right? So if a program doesn't work for you, fine, do it the long way. So but there's ways to do it. So I will put that link in the details of this video, and you can check it out. And then what can be purchased after? A lot of my mini sessions, anytime, it's very simple. Okay, like digital files, maybe some prints. Outside of that, my regular photo sessions with families and seniors, it's a much more personalized option. We meet ahead of time. We talk about everything. I do specialize in wall portraits and stuff like that. It's not just digital files. So, but the mini sessions, I'm trying to make it as simple as possible for people. A lot of people don't know, doing these mini sessions, don't really know what all these things are that we offer, albums and different size prints and stuff like that. So I try to make it as simple as possible. And usually it's just digital files. It's kind of the most bang for your buck, in my opinion. Those are the people that want mini sessions are kind of wanting the digital files. And I personally don't sell any digital files printable bigger than 8x12. That's just me. And I can do a whole video on that if you want, but so that this makes it easy. But with the sale of digital files, you should always give them somewhere that they should print, and instructions on how to print and all that stuff. You don't want them going to Walgreens or Costco or wherever to print. There's some really great places for our clients to print at. So and then have ahead of time where they know, okay, our session is this date, and they're going to be online to order on these dates only. Okay, you need to have a plan ahead of time to let them know when things are going to be ready and available. So, and don't do it for too long. People look at your life, right? Everyone's busy. Okay, and the longer you give people, they're just going to take that much longer to order. So give them dates to order. Most of my mini sessions, I have two. My mini sessions are usually a couple days, like 3 days. And I almost always include a Friday, because that is when a lot of people get paid. And sometimes I include the weekend so that they can share them with friends and family. So, they can share the link with friends and family anyway, but sometimes it's a little easier to sit down and look at things on the weekend. So totally up to you. I never have it end on a Monday, just so you know. Mondays, people forget everything. I almost feel like I should not even have my studio open on Monday because I feel like people are just trying to get back into the swing of things. So I don't end it on a Monday, usually a Tuesday if I'm going to end it after the weekend. So let's see. How to advertise for these. Now this is a big one, you guys. If you're using social media, or a newsletter, which I do both, putting it out there once or twice is not going to work. It's not going to happen. Don't think that people are seeing them. Don't people seeing your advertisement. Don't think people are reading your emails. Don't think that, this one and done is going to work, or 2 times. You have to advertise it week after week after week until you're booked. And maybe the first time you do this, it'll book out quickly. Usually there's a lot of excitement there, but I'm to the point where people know about it, and my newsletter, people learn about it first. I have a newsletter link too. I highly suggest a newsletter. And then after I've advertised it to my newsletter subscribers, then I start offering to social media. So you have to do it week after week after week, and it's good to plan far ahead. And sometimes, you guys, you're going to have an idea and you're like, I want to do a mini session in the wildflowers in the foothills. Oh my gosh, they're bloomed right now. And that's okay. Throw it together. Make something happen. Do it. It's a lot of fun. You might flop on your face, but this is how we learn, right? But if you can plan ahead, like I know that my mini sessions are going to be beginning of March and in September sometime. And I guess I plan those around my kids, around their spring breaks, around watching soccer in college, or going and visiting kids. And, both my kids are going to be in Colorado this fall. So anyway, you got to plan it around your life, right? And make sure you're living your life. But if you can plan far enough ahead, I would do that and advertise it every single week. And, people see it. They'll see it and they'll see it. And then they'll, sometimes, it just takes them a bit to finally pull the trigger, or maybe they had plans and now they don't, or maybe they're, they just are kind of seeing if they have other plans come up, that happens too. But yeah, make your marketing consistent week after week, talking about this. And if no one likes it, if no one comments, if no one books, oh well, just try again. Like, maybe it just wasn't the right time. But maybe there's something that you're not giving enough information, or maybe too much information, or maybe at this point, there's always nothing wrong with reaching out to people too. My mini sessions each year, I'll reach out to the people that haven't booked yet. Well, these people have booked every year, but they haven't booked this year. Do they even know about it? So I reach out to them. Hey, mini sessions are open again. They're on this date. I hope you sign up. Hope to see you. That's okay. You can do that stuff. And if people don't want you to, they'll tell you, right? So, let's see. Okay. Another big thing is being the guide. You are the guide, guiding your clients to have the best possible experience. And you know what that means? That means you give them some tips on what to wear, what not to wear. And this is kind of going to be you personally. And when I say that, I mean, like, there's a lot of photographers, and this might be you, nothing against you, that like white and cream and toned down, earth tone colors. I don't. I tell people, don't wear white, don't wear cream. And if you do, make sure there's some sort of a pattern or a necklace or something to break it up. I personally, as a photographer, do not like white or light colors or creams. And doesn't mean when I tell people not to wear it that they don't, because they do. But, any outdoor session, don't wear green. There's a lot of green in the background. Why would you wear green? But in the studio, freaking wear green. It looks good. So, some people take it to heart, and some people, I feel like they give you the middle finger. But at least you did your job at helping them get the best possible outcome. So guide them in a way that you like to photograph. And maybe you don't know what that is. Maybe you go look at some photographer's work and you're like, I really love these photos. What is it you love? Do you love their outfits? Do you love the background? Do you love it all? You know, if you love the outfits, what is it about the outfits? You know, I guide every one of my clients on what to wear. I want them to wear things that represent them, of course, but I want them to look their best, because if they don't like their outfits, they don't like their pictures, period. So be the guide. So that's one thing that you can go above and beyond and help them with. And it could be just a mass email to everybody that's signed up. Here's what I suggest. Here's what I don't suggest. Here's what you can plan on session day. Here's where I want you to park. Here's where I want you to meet. Make sure you're not late. Make sure your lips are, moisturized. Make sure your skin's moisturized. Make sure there's no food on their face. Make sure they're not wearing fluorescent shoes, whatever. All the things that you like and don't like, share that with them, don't be too overwhelming, but, give them some tips and tricks. Okay, we are getting to the point of session day. So I personally love to offer drinks and or snacks at my photo sessions. Whether it's a full-on experience, I usually bring drinks. I find out what they like to drink and I bring it. It's like the most amazing thing that people absolutely love about it. They're like, oh wow, thanks, like they're a freaking drink. Okay, cool. This is whatever makes people happy and more comfortable and whatever. So for my mini sessions, in the past, my spring sessions have included, we've done anywhere from an Easter egg hunt to just a basket with Easter eggs with candy and like coins or $1 or something in them. This year I changed it up, you guys, and I'm really excited about it. I needed a change of some sort. As much as I love Easter and I love Easter baskets and I love Easter egg hunts, I had to do something different. And like I said, this is not an Easter themed mini session by any means. It is just spring. And when I hear spring, I think of Easter and flowers and things blooming and stuff like that. So I put together this year, I ordered these tiny little flower pots that come with a tiny little bag of seeds and a little soil nugget and instructions on how to plant your flowers. So each kid gets one of those. How cute is that, right? They get to plant their own flower. And then I got one of those bags that looks like a carrot, like it's clear and then it has the green on top, and I filled it with some candy. Take that stuff into consideration when you're figuring out your price. You can't just give things away. It looks like it, right? But if that costs $5 per kid, up your price by, whatever you need to up your price by to cover that cost. But it's a fun treat, kind of bribery. I'm not a big fan of bribery unless it comes to photography and getting pictures taken. But I love handing stuff out like that. And then for like my back to school photos, those are outdoors and I have a studio yard. I know not everyone is that lucky, but I am. And out in my yard, I have like old trucks and piano. Well, the piano fell over, so it doesn't really look like a piano. Old gas pumps and metal and wood and so tall grass and stuff like that. So that's where I do the back to school photos, mini sessions, 5 minutes per kid. We get about 3 to 5 shots of each kiddo. So we offer a drink and a snack with that. So, when they're all done, they can have a drink and a snack, and sometimes that just, something to look forward to, right? So, not that you have to have something, but I think it's kind of the icing on the cake, if you will. So consider that. So, let's see. The only other tip I would give is be organized. As people book, I personally like to have like an Excel spreadsheet, and I have all my times, their names, their kids, their ages, and all that stuff is taken on the booking program, right? But I like to see it visually in one little space, and how much their orders were and how much, because when they pay, if it's through PayPal or Stripe or whatever, you're not getting the full price, right? You're getting, PayPal and Stripe and all them, they take their portion. So I like to keep track of finances there as well for each like mini session or event. And that way I can print it out and have it in the studio for like the spring mini sessions and know what kids are coming in next and what mom's name is and how old the kids are. And I'm also, the other thing I would have is a plan on how you're shooting. I'm a big less is more. I don't overshoot. I guess the only time I do is when I have like little 1-year-olds or something that you're chasing around really. But have a plan. Go, okay, there's 4 siblings coming to these time slots. And let's see, these ages, how will I pose them? Have a plan. Okay, my goal is to, we only have 15 minutes. So, and my 15 minutes for my spring sessions, totally off topic. I do up to 3 people. So if there's more than 3 people, more than 3 kids, they have to book another spot, just so you know. So let's say this family has 3 kids, we'll say 3, and they have their 1 spot, and their ages from 15 down to 2. There's 15, 12, and a 2-year-old. Well, let's plan photos ahead of time. Like, how are we going to do that? And make sure you get your group shot, make sure you get each individual shot, and then, or shots, and if there's time, get another group shot. But that's kind of, I always have a plan-ish on how I'm going to pose. I do love candid, but there's only so much candid you can do in the studio. So it's always nice to have some sort of a plan on how I'm going to situate them. And then, it can turn candid for sure, but everyone's in a good spot. I know what furniture I'm going to use. I know what backdrop I'm going to use. I know, and you know what? Those little kids, they throw in the wrench sometimes, and we're like, okay, we're doing something different. But the more you have planned, the more excited you will be about your sessions, and the more prepped you'll be, and the more smooth everything will run. And so just planning as much as you can ahead of time to make it run as smooth as possible. So that is all I have. I will have links to all the programs I use in the details of this video. Check them out. If you have any questions, please let me know. I would love to help you out. Also, if there's any video ideas that you would love, on how to do something, or, hopefully I can answer. But, anything photography business related, or, something you're struggling with, I would love to make a video. I'll need some ideas on this, you guys. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you.